Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Ryan in Singapore. Welcome to our mindfulness practice. Hello, Dirk. Ooh, hold on one moment. Right on the table. Hello, Dirk. Hello, Gene. Frank's having an early visit this morning. Last time we talked about having envisioning an ideal future. So as we're envisioning our ideal future, of course, not everything that we've imagined is going to come true exactly the way that we imagined it. So we do need to be prepared for setbacks. So that's what today's practice is about. We're going to talk about how do we manage our setbacks, what are some of the steps that we can go through to be more resilient. And so that's really what our topic's about today. So the way to manage setbacks. So when things don't happen exactly the way that we hoped for them, and we experience some kind of setback or something doesn't happen the ideal way that we expect it, we can have resilience and we can cultivate resilience to better manage setbacks and difficulties that we experience in our lives. So the first thing to go through is, well, what is resilience anyway? So I'm going to use a definition from Linda Graham, who's a therapist and an author of books on resilience. Resilience is the ability to meet disappointments and difficulties and even disasters of our lives and bounce back. We can cope skillfully, effectively, even gracefully. And so what's the strategy for resilience? What can we do to, and I think that's the key, right? Is having something active that we can do instead of passively being overwhelmed by something. So the way that we can manage things, our setbacks, are kind of a 3-step process. So one is inner calm. Okay, so step 1 is inner calm. And I'll go through these in a little bit more detail shortly. Number 2 is emotional resilience. And number 3 is cognitive resilience. Okay, so inner calm is something that can be tapped into and accessed through regular mindfulness practice. So if you have been practicing mindfulness, you've been practicing paying attention to your breath, whatever kind of mindfulness practice that you've been doing, you will find that mindfulness practice gives you some ability to stay cool in difficult situations, partially because you're used to monitoring yourself, you're used to monitoring your emotions. And as you've become more familiar with monitoring your emotions, it gives you this ability to step back and experience your emotions instead of drowning in them in this kind of existential crisis of my anger is overwhelming. I am so angry. I'm so sad. Instead of this, what mindfulness does is allows us to kind of decouple and see from farther away what our emotional state is. So this is the inner calm portion that we take as our first step in resilience. And as you know, regular practice is key for cultivation of that inner calm. The second step is emotional resilience. So seeing that success and failure are emotional experiences. And they, like any emotion, they stoke physical sensations in the body. And you will notice that as you practice body scan and practice paying attention to your emotions, you can more clearly identify what it is that you're experiencing. Is this Do I feel this kind of craving towards success that I need to have? Do I feel this resistance to my feelings of failure and the emotions around them? And I think that's what's kind of interesting about it is noticing the emotions. And that kind of noticing emotions, again, kind of along the same lines of inner calm, gives us that ability to step back and to see with a little bit more clarity, what's really going on out here. Instead of being completely overwhelmed by it, seeing it with that clarity that this is an emotion that's happening right now, and I am not this emotion, even though at this point in time this emotion can feel overwhelming for me. And body scan can help as we learn to identify what emotions we are experiencing and how those emotions manifest in our bodies. So another good reason to practice body scan. The third piece is cognitive resilience, and that has to do with looking at our explanation kind of style. So how do we talk to ourselves about the experience that we're having? And is it positive or is it negative? And that kind of explanatory style really does set for us how we're going to experience this failure, this setback. So what tends to happen is that we will, and so as you look through your explanatory style, look for these little three indicators. What is the personalization of it? Do we find that it's all happening to me, right? This could be kind of the first thing that we notice is the kind of why me syndrome. Why is it that this is happening to me? This is only happening to me. I'm the only person in the world that's experiencing this, okay? This is one of the things that tends to happen in a negative explanatory style. We don't recognize that pretty much every setback we've experienced has been experienced by another human being, and we are not alone in the feeling that we're having, okay? Number two is pervasiveness. Okay, I gotta learn what gestures like make balloons and confetti in the background before I end up doing this. Thumbs up and okay. Anyway, pervasiveness in that we tend to think that these setbacks are pervasive and that they inhabit every single aspect of our lives, right? Like this, because I didn't get that job, I'm a failure in every single area of my life. Like I'm not going to be able to face my family, and I'm not going to be able to pay my bills, and I'm not going, all of these things. And what we can do is recognize that it's one thing. It is not seeping into every single aspect of our lives, and this kind of negative thinking is quite self-destructive in this kind of time as well. And then number three is permanence. So we tend to as well think of these setbacks as permanent. That because this has happened, it's the consequences of this is going to last forever, and that feels overwhelming. I go, and think about a challenging relationship, right? Like I end up breaking up, or someone breaks up with me, somebody that I loved so much, and I'm never going to be able to find another lover like her or him. And this kind of pervasiveness, or this kind of permanence that we tend to associate with our setbacks. So these three things to examine. So it's it's personalization, thinking that this is something that has happened to me and it only happens to me. Poor me, life's hard. Number 2, pervasiveness, that it affects every single area of my life, and that I'm completely 100% overwhelmed by it. And number 3, that it's permanent. And as we look through this cognitive style and realize I am not alone in this, number 1. 2, it doesn't in fact affect every single area of my life. And 3, everything has a time. This will end at some point. The difficulty that I'm having is not permanent. This can help us to come out and to bounce back faster from our setbacks than if we aren't aware of these 3 things. So that's the talk on resilience today. I wish you all the best if you're experiencing any setbacks these days, and remember those. They really can be helpful. Inner calm. So the pieces are inner calm, emotional resilience, and cognitive resilience. And so in the spirit of this Frank's trying to escape. In the spirit of emotional resilience, let's do a body scan today. And I hope Frank isn't going to jump and try and open the door and make a bunch of noise while we're meditating. So let's get into our meditation posture. So I encourage you to find a posture that can really bring you alive, that can help to keep you fully awake and fully aware. If you like, allowing your eyes to close. And beginning to notice that you're breathing. Seeing if you can concentrate your attention on the feeling of breathing. And of course, from time to time, your mind will wander away. So don't get too worried about that. That's a normal, natural part of our meditation process. When you find your mind gets distracted, just gently let go of whatever it is that has distracted you the moment you notice it, and come back to whatever we're doing. In this moment, we're coming back to the breath. Expansion as we breathe in. Contraction, release as we breathe out. And so today, to help cultivate this kind of emotional resilience, we're going to continue to work on the body scan. So whenever you're ready, letting go of attention at the breath, wherever you're noticing it, and guiding the attention down the left leg, noticing the toes of the left foot, the sole of the foot, the top of the foot, the left ankle, the left lower leg, the shin, the calf muscle, as best you can, tuning in the attention to this region of the body, seeing if you can notice any normal, unspecial sensations in these regions of the body as we scan to the knee, to the left thigh, front of the thigh, the back of the thigh, the left hip. Then we'll go across the buttocks, the left buttock. So most likely if you're sitting or lying, your buttocks are in contact with something. So can you use that pressure, that contact, to really tune into that region of the body? So across the tailbone, the right buttock, and then down the right leg. Noticing the toes of the right foot, the sole of the right foot, the heel, the right ankle, the top of the right foot, the right shin, the right calf muscle, the right knee, front, back, sides, the right thigh, quadriceps, hamstrings, inner thigh, outer thigh, and the right hip. And then let's go across the front of the pelvis. Noticing the pelvic bowl, the genitals, then through the perineum, back to the tailbone, as we notice the lower back. The mid-back, the upper back, shoulder blades, and down to the front of the body, the abdomen, the movement of the abdomen with each breath. Expanding as we inhale, contracting as we exhale. Notice the sternum, the middle of the chest. Can you feel your heart beating? The rib cage. The lungs inside, expanding and contracting as you breathe, feeling the rib cage moving. And now, the left hand, the fingers of the left hand, the left wrist, the left forearm, the left elbow, the left upper arm, left shoulder, left armpit, and including the left side body. And then over to the right hand, the fingers of the right hand, the right wrist, the right forearm, the right elbow, the right upper arm, the right shoulder, the right armpit, the right side of the body. And now to the neck, the back of the neck, softer flesh in the front, blood vessels, the larynx, a windpipe, feeling air moving in and out as we breathe. Noticing the chin, the jaw. Is the jaw clenched or relaxed? Noticing the teeth, the tongue, the opening to the throat, the inside of the mouth, the lips, the cheeks, the ears, the nose, feeling air moving through the nostrils as you breathe. The eyes, the muscles around the eyes, the eyebrows, the forehead, the hair, the scalp, crown of the head, the back of the head. And now I'd like to invite you to bring your attention to the body as a whole. So see if you can begin to dilate that awareness, to open it up, start noticing all of the sensations in the body. So maybe we can experience concentration of the attention in the foot or the elbow. See if you can open your awareness to the entire body. Noticing what physical sensation seems more obvious, more out front in your awareness. And even though we may sit or lie still, you'll notice that the body's never still. The body's always moving slightly with the breath. Maybe you can always feel your pulse ever so slightly moving in various regions of the body. So see if you can tune in to the feelings happening here and now, inside the body and at the surface of the skin. So now we'll begin to draw our practice to its close with 3 rings of the bell. Okay, well done. Congratulations. Thanks for practicing with me and being here with each other as well. How'd the practice go today, and how are you feeling today? I'm going to take a look at the chat now. I saw Sarah said, I've had a record-breaking setback. And Sarah, if you feel comfortable to do so, I'd be more than happy to hear more about it. You could tell us about what's going on. And anybody else, anything else you'd like to share related to setbacks or anything at all? Any questions about today's practice? Did you notice anything during the meditation, like as you were observing the body? And did any thoughts enter the mind? Did those thoughts stoke any physical sensations? Thanks, Brenda. Thanks, Micah. Thank you. Thanks, Seeds. Good to see you here today. Thanks, Matt. Thank you, Kay. Welcome, Michelle. Great to have you here today. Inner calm, emotional resilience, and cognitive resilience. There you go. And cognitive resilience in the 3 P's of cognitive resilience are personal, pervasive, and permanent. Tina says body scan was on point today. I'd stress I wasn't aware I was holding. So valuable. Thanks. Thanks for being here today. Frank's still in. He's still in here somewhere. I don't see him. I think he's waiting for the door to open, unless he was able to jump up and open the door, which Frank, that's one of his skills. He can open doors and move around the house. Jean says, I recently had a couple setbacks, and I noticed that I used everything you mentioned to help me bring me into a more balanced place. Thanks, Jean, for sharing. I think that's the key, right? And I think that's something interesting that I want to do next time is about when you're feeling stressed and for no reason, you don't know why you're feeling stressed. I mean, this happens sometimes that we have this, we can recognize the physical stress, but we go, I can't pinpoint what's going on here. So I kind of wanted to talk about that, and I think that's interesting too, as well. So not only when we can pinpoint what it is that's causing strong emotion, but also when we can't necessarily pinpoint it. So thanks, Jean, for sharing, and I think it's good to know as well that, and I mean everything from today's lesson. Thanks, Jean. Personal, pervasive, permanent. Yes, that's how we tend to explain things to ourselves. So, do feel free to take it away. Okay. That's it for today. I'll just make some more confetti, maybe. So I feel like this is like Richard Nixon kind of thing. Thanks, CC, for your donation. We're going to go ahead and send our well wishes out to each other. All right, so repeat after me or follow along if you like as we send our well wishes out to each other. May I be happy and peaceful. May everyone watching, listening, wherever you are right now, I wish you all happiness and peace. May all sentient life here on this planet, including those who have not yet been born, those in the future, I wish everyone happiness and peace. Thanks, everybody. So, the recording will be out later today. And in the meantime, come next time to talk about how to apply these skills even when we don't fully understand what it is that's causing us stress. So that'll be about 48 hours from now. Look forward to seeing you then. Take care. Until then, bye-bye.